The Kilgore College Rangerettes have been around for 85 years, and Real East Texas Executive Director Chip Hale and photographer O. Rufus Lovett thought it was time for an exhibit.
This is a perfect venue for it to be celebrated at the Old Post Office in Kilgore, Texas.
It is a joint effort between the City of Kilgore, Longview Museum of Fine Art, and Real East Texas. And happy and proud to say it's the first time Rufus's photos of the Kilgore College Rangerettes are actually in Kilgore.
The pictures have been around.
They've seen the state of Texas, and we're happy to have them home in Kilgore.
Rufus taught photography at Kilgore College for 42 years before retiring. Back in 1990, he started taking photos of the Rangerettes.
I was filming football for the coaches back in those days, so I saw all the performances during halftime, and it occurred to me that I really should be on the field photographing the Rangerettes.
So he says he put down the movie camera and picked up his still and started shooting.
It was the interesting glamour juxtaposed with the metal bleachers, football turf environment that attracted me so much.
He says during the years the drill team's lines may have changed, but the Rangerettes didn't.
Their dedication, precision, and the tradition.
Texas Monthly noticed and published about 24 Lovett photographs in 2006, and many photos were published in a hardcover book a couple of years later. He does still capture some Rangerette imagery.
I usually show up at homecoming.
And how many photos has he taken of the Rangerettes?
I have no idea. I can't count that high.
And he'll just keep clicking, because that next one could be the best one of all. Jamie Boyum, KLTV 7 News.